If you're a Lord of the Rings fan and you had been paying attention to the lead up for Rings of Power, you likely already knew that Amazon was going to betray Tolkien, that they weren't going to stick to the source material in any way, shape, or form. They were going to do their own thing and adapt it for the modern world. What so many people may have been surprised by, even if you paid attention to all of that, is just how bad Rings of Power has been. Not strictly from a lore standpoint or from an identity politics standpoint, but just how incompetent the entire production is. From the cringe dialogue, to the piss poor storytelling, to how absolutely slow and boring it is. Nearly everything about Rings of Power has been awful, has been terrible. And people are sitting there saying, how is this a $1 billion show? How did you spend $1 billion for 2 seasons of this? And this is what we get. And today, after episode 5, people are just laughing at this show for a variety of reasons. One, maybe the funniest one of them all, is that this is the dialogue they went with. This isn't a meme. This is a screenshot from Rings of Power. Give me the meat and give it to me raw. Well, based on how Elrond and Celebrimbor have been acting, I'm sure Elrond would have no problem with giving someone his meat raw, especially if it's another man. But then this came up. This is what I saw today that blew my mind. The obvious copy-pasted the crowd screenshot from Council of Rings on YouTube. So shout out to this channel right here, Council of Rings. I'm gonna watch this this video in its entirety. It's his review of episode 5. Based on him pointing this out, I'm probably gonna like Council of Rings. I don't know if I've ever seen this, not sure if I've ever seen the channel before. I'll likely check it out and probably end up subscribing. But he pointed something out that's very interesting. Look at this crowd of people. This person is the same as this person, is the same as this person. This is a crowd of what, 100 people? Like that's what this is supposed to be, 100 people. The most expensive show in history. And they had to copy paste a crowd for 100. You couldn't get 100 extras in here. You had to copy paste these people. Look at this man in a hood, this bearded man in a hood. Same person. Same person, same person. Look at this guy back here. This one I found on my own. This guy who's standing next to this man of color in the Southlands. The same guy who's standing next to him. They just flipped him around. They just mirrored him. Like, this is so absolutely pathetic. You know, we're used to seeing that. I have no problem with reusing animations, reusing copy pasting, things like that. If you're talking about, say, if it was a crowd of orcs, say it was thousands and thousands of orcs, obviously you're going to assume that they're going to duplicate some of that. That's going to look okay. But really, like this crowd of simulated 75, 100 people, and you can't have extras for that? You had to get a couple actors together and just copy paste them? The most expensive show ever made. And this is what we're getting. That wasn't the only thing that people noticed from this episode. Look at this. Elendil armor from Lord of the Rings versus Elendil in Rings of Power. This is what we got, 20 years ago? Look at this. Look at the detail. Look at the quality. Look at the craftsmanship of this. Look at how incredible this looks. Look at it now. Look at it now. It looks like fake leather that you would buy at like a Hot Topic or something. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I do know that it's low effort compared to this. Yet, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, most expensive show ever made. Where's this money going? Is this a money laundering scheme? Does there need to be an investigation into the production of Rings of Power to see where all the fucking money is going? And that doesn't even begin to cover some of the cringe that we saw in this episode when it comes to the Galadriel fight scene. Now, we have seen the choreography in this look questionable at best, especially with that opening episode, that troll scene. But what we saw here is the most clear example of what I would call theater choreography. This looks like if it was done as a play in a theater. This is the type of choreography that you could expect. This is what they're doing. Once again, on the most expensive show in history. Look at Boss Lady Warrior Galadriel with her 2 swords taking on all the Númenórean trainees. Man, they are definitely incompetent, aren't they? Now they are supposed to be learning, right? They are supposed to be training. But Elendil, who is a very well-known warrior in his own right, he has to let Galadriel train them. She's the one that's going to train them up how to fight the right way. That guy, hold on. That guy didn't even aim at her. This guy just aims directly to the side of her head, no intention of ever actually hitting her. There we go. This guy is ready to. This guy just walked in with his sword down for no fucking reason. Look at this guy. His sword's just sitting there, not up in a guard position, doing nothing, just chilling. Fucking right to the throat. Could have killed him right there, apparently. Then watch what we have from Galadriel. Look at what she does.
Don't plant roots. Keep.
What if one of these guys had done that to Galadriel? What do you think would have happened? What do you think the reaction would have been? Did someone say double standards? I think I heard it somewhere. And then watch this chick who looks like she's gonna attack Galadriel from behind, and then with one little motion of her sword decides, oh, I can't do it then. Watch this. Like, what is that? First of all, as if this is going to stop anybody. You have no leverage from this position in sword fighting at all. This is nothing. A scowl and look at your wrist. You have nothing that you could do from that position. Yet it stops her from taking a clear shot at her back. Come on, man. Like I said, this is like theater choreography. It's a joke. Somehow she ends up with blocking three of them with her two swords, and then this happens. And they all go back it up at the same time. This is so fucking sad. It really is sad and pathetic. It's like nothing can be competent in this show. Everything has to be half-assed. Everything has to be laughably bad, including this. Now, all right, hold on. Let's stop this here. She blocks it like this. Is this cool? Is it cool to see someone do something unique with the sword and block it in a way maybe you wouldn't expect? I guess. But let's look at the reality of this situation. Does it actually make sense for her to have any type of leverage from this position at all? No. He could easily just fucking slice her arm as much as he fucking wanted right there. This is not an adequate blocking position. Like, come the fuck on. That's pathetic, but that's what this show is. This show is being laughed at constantly because at the end of the day, it is a joke. Copy pasting extras for the most expensive show ever made. It just continues to get worse for Rings of Power. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.